Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're embarking on an epic journey, a story that spans millions of years, covers a fifth of the Earth's landmass, and involves thousands of cultures and languages. We're talking about the history of Africa, the cradle of humanity. So, where does this incredible story begin? Well, it starts with us, literally. The earliest evidence of our species, Homo sapiens, comes from Africa. Fossils discovered in places like modern-day Ethiopia and Morocco show that our ancestors were walking this continent hundreds of thousands of years ago. It's from here that humanity began its great migration, eventually populating every corner of the globe. So in a very real sense, we all have African roots. For millennia, early Africans lived as hunter-gatherers, developing sophisticated tools, art, and social structures. Just think about the stunning rock art found across the Sahara, some of it dating back over 10,000 years. These paintings depict a vibrant world, a green Sahara teeming with giraffes, elephants, and people living in thriving communities. It's a powerful reminder that landscapes and climates are always changing. Now, let's fast forward a bit. One of the most famous and awe-inspiring civilizations in all of human history rose from the banks of the Nile River, ancient Egypt. For nearly 3,000 years, the pharaohs ruled a powerful and incredibly advanced society. They built the pyramids, monuments that still mystify us today. They developed a form of writing, hieroglyphics, created a 365-day calendar, and made huge advances in mathematics, medicine, and engineering. But Egypt wasn't alone. To its south lay the kingdom of Kush in what is now Sudan. Kush was a major power in its own right, a trading hub for gold, ivory, and ebony. At one point, the Kushite kings even conquered and ruled Egypt, becoming the 25th dynasty of pharaohs, often called the Black Pharaohs. While Egypt and Kush flourished in the northeast, other incredible societies were developing across the continent. In West Africa, the No culture in modern-day Nigeria was creating some of the oldest and most remarkable terracotta sculptures in sub-Saharan Africa. Dating back to at least 500 BC, they were also among the earliest societies in the region to smelt iron, a technology that revolutionized agriculture and warfare. Speaking of revolutions, one of the most significant events in African history was the Bantu migration. This wasn't a single event, but a centuries-long process where Bantu-speaking peoples, originating from the border of modern Nigeria and Cameroon, gradually spread across Central, Eastern, and Southern Africa. They brought with them their knowledge of ironworking and agriculture, transforming the societies they encountered and laying the groundwork for many of the ethnic and linguistic groups that exist today. As we move into the medieval period from about the 5th to the 10th century, Africa was home to some of the wealthiest and most powerful empires on earth. You've probably heard of Mansa Musa, the king of the Mali Empire. In the 14th century, he was so fantastically wealthy from his empire's control of the gold and salt trade that his pilgrimage to Mecca literally disrupted the economy of the Middle East. Gold from his empire was legendary. Timbuktu, a key city in the Mali and later the Songhai Empire, became a world-renowned center of learning, with universities and libraries that attracted scholars from all over the Islamic world. At the same time, on the other side of the continent, the Swahili coast was thriving. A string of bustling city-states like Kiwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar formed a dynamic trading network that connected Africa to Arabia, Persia, India, and even China. They traded gold, ivory, and spices for pottery, silks, and other goods. The unique Swahili culture and language, a blend of African Bantu and Arab influences, was born from this incredible cross-cultural exchange. And let's not forget the Kingdom of Aksum in modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea. It was a major naval and trading power from the 1st to the 7th century, linking the Roman Empire with ancient India. Aksum was one of the first empires in the world to officially adopt Christianity in the 4th century, and it developed its own unique script Ge'ez and erected massive stone obelisks, or stelae, that still stand today. In southern Africa, the Kingdom of Zimbabwe rose to prominence. Its capital, Great Zimbabwe, was a magnificent city of stone, built without any mortar. Its massive walls and towers are a testament to the incredible architectural and organizational skills of its people. The kingdom grew wealthy by controlling trade routes for gold and cattle, and its influence stretched across the region. But then, the story takes a dark and tragic turn. Starting in the 15th century, European powers began arriving on Africa's coasts. Initially, this was for trade, but it soon devolved into the horrors of the transatlantic slave trade. For over 400 years, millions of African men, women, and children were forcibly captured, torn from their homes, and shipped across the Atlantic in brutal conditions to work on plantations in the Americas. This devastating period caused unimaginable suffering, depopulated entire regions, and shattered societies. The economic and social scars left by this brutal trade are still felt today. By the late 19th century, this exploitation entered a new phase known as the Scramble for Africa. In a frenzy of imperial ambition, European nations carved up the continent among themselves, drawing arbitrary lines on maps that ignored existing ethnic, cultural, and political boundaries. With the exception of Ethiopia and Liberia, the entire continent fell under colonial rule. The colonial period was marked by economic exploitation, political oppression, and the violent suppression of African resistance. Europeans extracted vast amounts of resources while imposing their own systems of government, language, and religion, often with devastating consequences for African societies. But the spirit of Africa could not be broken. Throughout the colonial period, there were constant acts of resistance, both big and small. After World War II, a wave of nationalism and desire for freedom swept across the continent. African leaders and independence movements rose up, demanding self-determination. Starting with Ghana in 1957, one by one, African nations began to win their independence. The 1960s became the decade of freedom, as dozens of countries threw off the shackles of colonialism and emerged as sovereign states. The post-colonial era has been a complex journey. Many new nations have faced immense challenges, including political instability, civil wars, and economic difficulties, often exacerbated by the legacies of colonialism and the Cold War. But it has also been a period of incredible progress, resilience, and creativity. Today, Africa is a continent of immense diversity and dynamism. It's home to over 1.3 billion people, with booming economies, a rapidly growing youth population, and vibrant cultural scenes in music, film, fashion, and technology. From the tech hubs of Lagos and Nairobi to the stunning natural wonders of the Serengeti and Victoria Falls, Africa is a continent of contrasts, challenges, and boundless potential. The history of Africa is not a simple story. It's a rich, complex, and often painful tapestry. It's a story of great civilizations, of profound tragedy, and of unbreakable resilience. It's the story of where we all began, and it's a story that is still being written every single day by the brilliant and determined people of this amazing continent. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. I hope this gave you a new appreciation for the incredible depth and breadth of African history. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration. See you in the next video.